It was under the Bush administration that the 2005 Comprehensive Peace Agreement was signed, and there was a lot of hope for that. This election has so much at stake for the United States and for U.S. policy. Where do you see it going? And if the SPLM boycotts in the north, is this just going to be a failure?
Well, as you said, the election is a central piece of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement and its implementation, and as Ezekiel said, with the intention of democratic transformation. The problem with the election, of course, is it's coming so close to when the referendum will be held in January 2011. In the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, it was presumed that it would come almost midway in this interim period of 6 years, so it should have happened a good year or 2 years ago. But I think that, as happens in Sudan, often they will muddle through. I think it's extremely unfortunate that the Sudan People's Liberation Movement is withdrawing. I was very confident that their candidate, Yasser Arman, who I respect tremendously, would have had a chance to give the people of Sudan a choice so that they wouldn't have to be left with an indicted war criminal in the person of al-Bashir. And so it's really quite unfortunate from my perspective that the opposition is essentially opting out and leaving the Sudan people hanging.
There just seems to be two competing momentums here. On the one hand, President Bashir wants legitimacy from this election. On the other hand, you seem to be saying, well, this election doesn't matter. What we really want is the referendum and to secede. I see you nodding, Ambassador Frazer.
That's right, and I think that that's absolutely the case. The SPLM is basically throwing in a towel in terms of the notion of even contesting in the north. They're essentially saying we will go and we will have a separate country. And so what we really need to concentrate on is the January 2011 referendum. And I certainly understand that sentiment. What I fear, though, is that Bashir is not honorable. He goes back on his word. The National Congress Party operates tactically, and that come January 2011, we're going to find that they are, in fact, not going to allow that referendum to go forward. And so the low-intensity conflict that we see today will, in fact, escalate to a full-blown war that we saw the 22-year civil war that killed more than 2 million people, which would be a very dark future for the Sudanese people.
You are obviously a Bush administration official. What do you see as the success or failure of the Obama administration policy, the increasing offer of carrots as well as sticks to the Bashir government? Has it produced anything?
Well, no. I think the biggest challenge for the Obama administration is they're divided. And you see very mixed signals coming out from the special envoy versus the secretary. To get them on one page, the president himself has to exercise leadership. The president has to come out and say what he thinks should happen in Sudan. He needs to pick up the phone and talk to African leaders so that he could get them on board with the position that the United States is looking for. And he needs to also exercise his diplomacy in places like China, because probably the United States, China, and the African Union will be the critical players in the future of Sudan besides the Sudanese people and government itself.